whenever there's a church, there should be a
We're allowed
rebellion
talk
at
in the
some
church and
point.
all. I said we'd be talking in the church.
All right. Well, I think
Here we are in Delgany at the Carmelite convent, and
have you ever been with a nun, Shay?
no, but I was an altar boy here. I was an altar boy, and we had to learn the Latin back in the old days.
All right.
And there was several. Nearly everybody in the village that grew up served their time as altar boys,
Right.
especially off my road.
Declan, but I didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
as
didn't escape.
one can see now, they've got their new building in later years. The nuns.
2005, yeah, the new building.
Right.
But the origins now, the origins are pretty amazing. We're talking about a spectacularly old building.
Well, what happened?
We'll
The
keep walking
nun, they
towards
were
it.
invited by the priest or the
Parish
priest at the time from Kilquade,
At the time,
four
being
nuns,
1844. That's important to point out,
1844, and they arrived in Delgany, and they taught the poor. They taught poor children at the time, the nuns,
it was purely a
and they
monistic,
helped the poor.
Right.
But that wasn't their.
We should say these nuns were from, I think, Mount Mellon in Dublin. That was their kind of.
Well,
they came out from that particular base. And
Right.
Started up here, and I think it was the 7th of December 1844 when it was dedicated to the Immaculate Heart of, I think is it St Mary? I presume it's one of those wonderful.
St. Therese.
Yeah.
Well, the old building was here. It is now a car park,
Right.
and this is where
No,
the school began.
Right.
And it lasted for 50 years here.
Okay.
The nuns taught, and in 1852 they built the church. the chapel.
Right. The
And,
church.
There was
I'm-
4 nuns at the time. There was 4
Right.
nuns.
Well, it's the church I'm always very familiar with. I knew that the convent was, with the Carmelite nuns were kind of, would say, in the background and hidden, and I was aware of their presence, but I was always just sort of saw the church. We went every Sunday, 8 o'clock mass,
Yeah.
and then piled down to break.
I was the same with my parents, my mother especially.
Didn't save us though.
No, but
Should we head towards the church
I'll show
itself?
where I used to collect the eggs.
Oh right, yes.
It was a regular thing.
Right.
It was either Count Tolstoy or the eggs from the convent here, the
Yeah,
Carmelite.
right beside with the light.
And most
Right.
people would collect them. In those days, they used to arrive at the little door here.
Yes, it was like a little shop. I remember this coming once
Yeah.
or twice. 'Cause we had hens and cows and all that on a small farm. So, but we did have a occasion to swing down. All right.
We used to arrive at the door here and collect our eggs.
Nice. Now, do you know?
And there was a little round. Of course, they're in an enclosed order, the
Right.
Carmelites.
Yes,
they're
yes.
enclosed.
But I know now that since 2005 and the refurbishment, there has been that sort of degree of openness now. I know that like all religious orders.
I
they've
think
sort
when
of
the Pope came to Ireland that time,
right,
it was one of the first times they got out or actually went to the park.
right.
Some of the nuns.
But I think also there's a sort of being part of the community is sort of recognised now by many of the church organisations that it's so important to basically get out there and be active within your community. And I think there's a lovely sense now that, I assume when growing up you could never ever kind of talk to one of the nuns, but now I interviewed a lovely
but
one of them for the last year for the nativity.
It was the main thing in the
Brilliant.
village years ago, really, because people look forward to going to mass of a Sunday and bringing their families to it.
Sure.
That's all the
Well,
and
free bread.
and as they say here,
Yeah.
of course, as an
Just
enclosed.
the new.
Yeah, that's their new
Yeah.
quarters. And
Well, this is all, as I said,
when I was an
2005.
altar boy, we used to come in here
Ah, right.
into the sacristy.
Right.
There could be 10 or 11 of us at the time learning. We had to learn Latin at the time.
And would you remember any of the Latin?
Confiteor Deo omnipotente Maria semper Virgine omnibus sanctus et te pater et missus peccatus tuus et vita aeternam.
Nice.
Little bits.
I think that translates as, do you live around here?
Yes, but the nuns, they're enclosed and their burial ground is here.
Right.
Once you join, they're buried, so you're
Okay.
in for life, and you're
Right.
very
For afterlife
interesting.
too, yeah.
But as one would say, over the years now, it's been built up down.
Sure. Well, I do think they've done a lovely job here because there's always a
Very
danger
proud.
when you,
There was
when
a
you
lovely,
modernise and
yeah, there
you-
was a lovely,
you can lose a sense of
lovely,
identity.
lovely village atmosphere,
Yeah.
and the people with their families would come every Sunday.
Well, I think
That was in the 60s, 70s.
We should grab a little bit of holy water.
Yeah.
How are you? Are you okay in churches? Did your body react? Do you get the
No,
spirit?
I'm fine, thanks.
You sure? Are you allowed into churches?
Ah, yes, I'm sure I'm. God knows me well.
That's So he does. Now you were telling me
Now,
just
oh
briefly.
yeah,
the
there's
incredible
Harry
the stained
Clarke.
glass. Harry Clarke, right?
Harry Clarke's.
It's his work. And this would have probably been
nuns were here
when it was built. The church, he would have put this in, or was it?
Well, that came in later years.
Okay.
Harry Clarke.
Clarke's
Yeah.
Okay. So we're starting. We'll say now we can see them up above, obviously.
And here's the Harry Clarke glass.
Right. Now we
That
should
was
have-
done in Harry Clarke's studios.
Okay. These three here.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And you have Saint Therese of Avila. You've Saint John of the Cross, and you've Saint Teresa of Lisieux.
Is that where lesbians come from?
No, Lisieux. There's three illustrations described in it.
Right.
In that particular
Absolutely
glass
beautiful.
work. That came from his studios.
Okay. And
But that would have came in later in life, you know.
Right. So with the rest of with these guys now, these would have been part of over time. Would these been added, or were these? I'm guessing the windows obviously were probably there. but-
No, they've been added. The church was built in 1852.
Right.
And as I say, the nuns taught, and that wasn't a part of their vocation, but things were so bad in
Right.
the 18th century, the poor.
The Catholics.
Well, we say Catholics, but they opened a school. The parish priest brought them from Kilquade at the time, invited them, and that was in 1844. They founded.
So just
So
to,
the nuns were 50 years actually teaching.
wow.
So it has a lot of history.
Well, I feel very connected to it. As I said, it was my childhood kind of church. We have the which is
Yeah.
also up in the guide now, just behind the statue of Our Lady over there. Yeah. Well, of course, the incredible crib,
Yeah.
the nativity kind of crib. that
Yeah,
they
it's
have
not
up
it's
there.
not opened yet. That'll
Right,
be open
Christmas
now
Eve
at
and-
Christmas.
Yeah.
But that glass came from Harry Clarke's studio.
Yeah. Which is,
That came in later.
So you would think that the rest of the windows here would have also come in, like none of these would have been from the original building. you
Well,
know.
Harry Clarke was unique.
I understand that, but I'm just wondering with the rest of the windows here, do you think any of these might have been from?
I suppose they probably came at the same time or later.
Okay. Which is pretty remarkable given the age of the church itself.
Yeah. And there we have the Stations of the Cross, all illustrated in wood. They're lovely. They're carved.
Yeah.
They're very artistic. They're lovely description of the.
It's a stunning little church, of course.
Oh
It's,
yeah. It has its what do you call it? It has its history. And as I say, the nuns are enclosed now.
right, of course.
And
Well, as I said too, that I've managed to. Well, I do feel that I've met, one of the nuns here to talk about the nativity scene, but also just that sense that they're, they go out with their calendars and so forth for the end of the year. I've met two of the ladies who work with the nuns.
I think the community got to know the nuns here over the years.
Yeah.
And the nuns themselves got to know the community as
Sure.
village life. So several families have come and gone, several nuns have come and gone.
Sure. Of
But
course.
in my day, in the 60s and that, my mother was very, very Catholic, and she shine your shoes every Sunday, up, breakfast and all, the family, and we'd all go to mass in the village and up here. But things have changed. But there's still a kind of a nice community, and the nuns keep themselves to themselves. They're.
We should say Christmas Eve, of course, is an amazing time. To
I
come
think
here.
on the Pope's occasion, when the Pope arrived in Ireland, I think that they were officially allowed out. I wouldn't be 100%. They got special.
More cheerleaders, the better. I think it was.
Well, they got special relief to go to the park and visit the Pope at the time. And when we arrived in Ireland, I think there was over 1 million. I was there myself with my mother.
Right. I know.
So,
Same here.
Yeah, it was nice. It was the Irish need something to lift them, and
It wasn't quite as good as the Stones and Slane in '82, but it was close.
it was close, but it was the park was organised. They came from all parts of Ireland.
Of course, it was a huge effect.
But when I was an altar boy here, we used to come out through that door
Right.
and prepare the candles, and we have the sacristy here, the wine to the side.
Sure.
Yeah, in my day we used to have to learn. I was about 11 or 12 when
And it stuck with you, which is amazing.
little bits.
Right.
I couldn't learn at the time, but something went in there.
And would it be phonetically, or would you know what you were saying? Like, would you know
That's the
translation?
confiteor in Latin. See, the mass was changed.
Right.
The Bible, the actual Bible itself, I think, was changed into English in England
Okay.
back in the 1600s or thereabouts, or the late 1500s.
Right.
Because pretense to that was all Latin. But I remember even as a young fella, the masses would be still done in Latin, you know.
Outside when these ladies are.
Some ladies in at the moment now.
Yeah.
But as I say, stained glass is beautiful.
Of course, of course.
Illustration of that's Saint Therese.
Oh yeah. Well, she's.
It's a beautiful statue. Saint Teresa. That's Saint Therese. It's a lovely statue.
But you know what? I'll finish here because this is where also we have the interview here with one of the lovely.
The nuns.
Just talking about the crib behind this door.
I think there's about eight nuns left now at the moment.
Oh, we'll link it
And
into
I
the
just-
interview on there. We can kind of.
I had a speech there. But as I say, when I was a young boy, when I was young, the main thing we didn't have much television and we didn't have much radio.
Hold on, were you ever young though, truthfully?
Well, as I say,
I think you were born in your 30s.
I've travelled through many societies. But as I say, it was a lovely community spirit here
Right.
every Sunday, and
Sure.
people look forward to the
There was
mass.
no questioning, which was something very comforting about the idea that this is what you did. It wasn't, now you can choose and decide, I don't want to go or I will go. But I think there was something comforting about.
Well, there
the
was more
definite-
on offer.
Yeah.
There was more in offer nowadays. Everything you have overlap, computers, television, everybody knows everything. But in those days, the families just depended on the mass.
Sure.
And it was spiritual. And you looked after yourself clothes-wise. You were very proud of cleaning your shoes and looking respectable of a Sunday.
I think you're going to break into a Foster and Allen song at any point.
No,
You're
no,
getting very deep
they
into
live
the
way
old-
down the country.
old
They-
days,
they're-
I
they're-
remember the world.
They be way down the
On
country.
me shoes are shining. That's very
But
nice.
as I say, the things have changed, but it's still lots of people come here of a Sunday now.
Oh yeah.
But they were very good to the poor, the nuns, and that's why they started the Carmelites in closed order.
Right. Cool.
So
well,
from-
as I said, I'll link now from this interview to the interview we did last year here, just to let people know about this beautiful, beautiful spot.